Well, we grotto frabble blabble blabberberry whatever Cyborgraptor for the fifth and final review of the Transformers film franchise, because the latest film, Transformers: The Last Night, is now in theaters for the public to watch. I have seen it twice now, and I'm going to go ahead and give you a non-spoiler review for the first 20, maybe 30 minutes, if I can find what to say in 20 and 30 minutes. And then later on, I will tell everyone that I will start doing spoilers, and I will make sure everyone knows that, so I don't spoil anyone. I made sure to put in the title, non-spoilers first, spoilers last, because there's a lot to talk about in this film, and a lot of it pertains to spoilers. Honestly, a part of me feels like if you haven't seen the movie, just to be wary. I guess either if you haven't seen the movie and you just jumped on the live stream, either just go back to the beginning and wait until I say no, this is spoilers talk, or you just stay away from this video right now and just wait until you see the movie. And if you do know spoilers, if you want to talk about spoilers, wait. I will we'll probably talk about stuff in the movie for non-spoilers, and then once I'm gonna want to talk about, I'll probably talk to the comments, make sure all the comments, if you haven't seen the movie, they'll probably leave the chat. And if you guys want to talk about spoilers, we'll talk about spoilers in the chat. But as right now, I'm gonna go ahead and give out my non-spoiler review. The chat is even live. Yeah, we have people here. Yeah. Michael. Okay, okay, cool. So people in the chat here, we got Megatronus and Fluffy. So yeah, if anyone watching right now, if you do not care for spoilers, stick around. But right now, it's okay. I'm going to do a non-spoiler review first. So first of all, Transformers: Last Night. As you've probably seen in the the first few days, the past few days. If you've seen any reviews beforehand, they are ripping this movie apart. People are hating this movie. It's saying it's just as bad, if not worse, than Age of Extinction, which is surprising because Age of Extinction it's not the best movie. I personally think that Transformers: Last Night is better than Age of Extinction, but I wouldn't say it's better than Dark of the Moon or the first movie. It's to me, The Last Night hits this middle ground of good and bad films. I mean, there is a lot of mistakes in this movie. There's a lot of characters in the movie are either pointless or lame, and some characters once again they don't have much character, or if they do they have only just one thing to that character, just one dimensional, feels like cardboard. It's sort of it's upsetting to be because we were hoping this would be finally the movie that breaks this bad movie trend, but it doesn't. It's another Transformers Michael Bay film. There's nothing that changes it from the rest. Whatever you expect from a Michael Bay movie, you're going to get in this one. You're going to get bad jokes. You're going to get lens flares. You're going to get dumb one-liners. You're going to get amazing special effects and awesome fight scenes. But besides that, if you don't like the Transformers films, you're not going to like this one. If you do love the Transformers films, then hey, it's another good Transformers film for you then. As a fan of Transformers, I think fans like this movie more than general audience because the world they build from the beginning of this film is better, I would say. I can't say why yet for spoilers, but as a Transformers fan, you enjoy the world that we live in now. In this world, of a world of humans and Transformers, this world seems more open for possibilities for characters that we haven't seen yet to arrive. There's when it comes to so when it comes to the pacing of this film, I'll say that it is slow for just one or two times, but actually the pacing is really well. There are a lot of fast-paced scenes. Sometimes there's a scene in the middle where it gets really fast-paced to the point where you discover this, and then they go into all these different areas and all these different like environments, and it's like, whoa, wait, hold on, like why are they there? Why are they there? Why are they doing all this for something that's pretty simple? Which leads me into what I really like about it is that I like how the concept of this film, like the idea of what's going on, the premise is simple. The thing that you have to get is just you got to get this one item to save the day and the track. But funny is that like it isn't easy to understand story, but also somehow Michael Bay has made it more complicated than it really should be. If you guys who've seen the movie, you know what I'm saying. But like it's, I guess like overall, like it's, God, what am I trying to say here? Like, so it does feel long. It's still a long movie. It is the second shortest of the franchise, but it still feels like a long movie. Watching it a second time for sure, I was more bored watching the movie a second time than I was watching it the first time. Which is upsetting because a Transformers movie, you can't really get bored in a Transformers movie. It's a bunch of, but like I wasn't really like feeling it. I was looking at my watch a lot of times, especially during the third act. And speaking of the third act, every Transformers movie, 1 through 4, the last battle is always just something. It's never an eyesore. There's always something cool to watch. There's always like, oh, here comes a scene. Oh, it's so cool. Last act is the weakest of the franchise, I'd say. I mean, it's still, big army of heroes versus big army of villains, but like, it's not as polished as the other ones. Like it's kind of like, what are they doing, and who are they shooting at, and like there's a good portion of the scene where our heroes are shooting into this general direction, but like you don't really know what they're shooting at. And it just and then like I just pick up near the end of the film, and then just like the past two films, the movie just ends abruptly. Like the fight is over, and then 2 minutes in, after the fight's over, the credits are rolling, and like, oh, okay, hold on, like, all right, just like that then. But I do say that when it comes to the ending is actually like, if you're a fan of Transformers, like it feels justified. Like you don't feel like you don't feel like you need to wait. Like, oh man, like you're just gonna end like that. I mean, you do feel like that, but like it's the way it ends, it's setting up something better. Because this movie is, once again, it is the beginning of a entire cinematic universe, and this movie tells you that in the end. The way the story ends, it's for many things that happen, and I'm excited for that too. There are some characters in the movie that don't get much screen time, and there are some characters that just like they don't have a purpose, and it's kind of lame. Like there's like a lot of like new and old characters. They will show up, but then they'll talk and they'll say something, but like after that, like they are either gone or they're just pointless. There's a lot of characters in this movie that have no reason to be there, and it kind of sucks. I'm trying to think of good things to say. The Decepticons in this movie are great. And like, when I mean great, I mean they're better than the generic Decepticons we have been getting in the past few movies. I mean, besides 4, we didn't really get Decepticons. We got drones, but like Decepticons, kind of, you feel like you're going back to the roots of Decepticons. They have character. They're not just gun fodder. They don't have enough characters. They don't have enough character for you to care about them, but they aren't just there to look cool and then they die. They're there, like, you get to see their kind of side of the story, but not really. I mean, like, I'm just trying to tell you that the Decepticons are better in this movie than the past films. Of Transformers in general, like there's more Transformers in this movie than the last one. Like, it probably has like a good amount of them, kind of similar to Revenge of the Fallen. Revenge of the Fallen set up. They introduced a lot of Transformers compared to 1, and this one introduces us to a lot of Transformers compared to Uh, some of the Transformers may not have been like important, and they don't last for long, but it doesn't neglect the fact that there is a lot of Transformers in this film. Uh, I will see when it comes to Optimus Prime, the whole Optimus Prime thing. When he turns evil, it is cool. Like seeing him turn evil is cool, but it's like it happens, and then when it doesn't happen, you're kind of like, well, actually, now I'm kind of bored. Like I kind of want to see Optimus Prime be even more evil, but I don't want to say much about happens. I'm trying to stay away as much like spoiler as possible. I don't want to sway anyone's opinion if it's good or bad. Like overall, like as a general film, like it's better. Like my roommates, the people who like they hate 4, and they joke about it all the time, but they like this one. In fact, one of my roommates said this is his favorite one yet, which is surprising for me. Because for me, I don't. I've still, even though I've seen it twice, I still don't really know to put it. I'm still seeing this movie more negatively than positively. But I would say right now of where it is like of like the films from 1 through 5, this is the third one for me. Like right now it goes Transformers 1, 3, and then Transformers 5 the last night, and then Age of Extinction and Age of Extinction and Revenge of the Fallen. That's pretty much it. Like it's the plot's easy to follow. Like I'll say this, like where Transformers 2 and 4, you kind of felt like the writers were at fault because they just wrote a bad script and they had to work with it. This is the opposite. These are like great writers. Like 2 of them wrote Iron Man 1, which is one of the best superhero films ever. But when they write this one, there's just the movie is poorly directed to the point where it doesn't really help the movie at all. Because there's some scenes that feel like they've been cut. Some scenes just feel like they went too fast, and some scenes they feel like it went too slow. And like I said, like the whole idea of what they have to do is simple, but somehow Michael Bay had to make it than it should be. Not to mention that they're filling it with a bunch of bad jokes and lots of pointless dialogue. There's for the human characters, like Anthony Hopkins is really good. I actually really like him, and Cogman. They're both their characters are really like cool. Like I enjoy Anthony Hopkins, and like what he actually like he surprised me because he's done a lot. He did a lot of stuff like this. It's funny that Sir Anthony Hopkins is like a very major actor. Like he's well renowned. Like he is actually knighted by Queen Elizabeth. He's he's a big deal. But then in this movie, he does act like he looks like he's having fun with it, and therefore we're having fun with it. Cogman is he is comic relief more than like a Transformer. Like he's a Transformer comic relief, and is really not much to him. Some parts of him are pretty disappointing, and I'll say more about it in the spoilers. But he is a positive in this movie. I'll say that. I did like when it comes to like Mark Wahlberg's character was just the same. Like once again, like it's well in the 4th movie it was all about I'm an inventor and I'm a dad and I'm I gotta protect my daughter because I'm a dad and I care about my daughter. Like since the daughter's gone, it has changed. Like there's not much to him still, but it changed like to where there's not much about him except he's an inventor. Now there's not much change to him except that he's an outlaw. And there's this the movie straight up just forces him and Laura Haddock's character to just fall in love, and it's like, and there's a scene where because there's a scene where they hate each other, and then something happens, and then they automatically start loving each other, and it feels so forced and unnatural, and it's it's just I can't see why we just cannot have a film where we just don't fall in love? Like just they have to work together because they're both important to the plot. They don't just because they're a boy and girl doesn't mean they have to just become in love because they work together. I mean it doesn't have to be that way, but because it's a movie and it's a Michael Bay movie, there has to be forced love. Sucks, but whatever. Yeah, it's Isabella Moner's character is boring, pointless. She could have been cut out in the entire movie and just it would have been okay. Same with like I can't I can't if anything, Isabella's character helps introduce Squeaks, because Squeaks did help a little bit in the end, and I'll explain why. But uh, because of human characters, hers is the least important. Like, it's surprising, like, why, you know, I'll be surprised if she comes back later on, because there's no point to it. There's this another pointless character. There's this black guy. I forgot his name. God, I sound so racist because I always forget the black guy's name except Tyrese Gibson. I look like a fucking bad person. But once again, I forgot his name. I'm pretty sure if Michael was here, he'd tell me right now. I Google it, but right now I'm just trying to review this movie. He's also pointless, which even makes me sound even more racist because I'm calling him the black guy who I can't remember racist. Pointless. That's great for me. Good job, guys. This movie sometimes, like, it kind of exhausted me because, like, because one of the things about the movie is that we introduced to Quintessa, and and we were hoping at the end of 4, like, hey, Optimus Prime flies up into space and meet the creators, and so in the trailers we were introduced to Quintessa, and like it's. I guess I'm trying to like to say something, but I guess I don't want to spoil it. But her character was interesting. She was more of a she was a character like that was put in the movie to help kind of set up future films. But otherwise, like, it's like she's mysterious. I'll say that she's a mysterious character, and there's more to her than meets the eye. No pun intended. The new Decepticons are, once again, they're cool. She has this bodyguard in Infernicus. He's cool. You should know about him by now. He has a toy and stuff. There's I'm trying to think what else. There's nothing fucking else to really talk about. This is it. Like that's Transformers 5 is good, but it's not the best. It's a good portion of the film is just like normal Michael Bay movie. I'll say this: if you're a Transformers fan and you want to go into the movie and watch Transformers do stuff, unfortunately you will be disappointed because like there's a lot of Transformers in this movie. Like, this Transformers movies have a lot of screen time and a lot of Transformers interaction. Like, they're involved in the scenes a lot, but they're not doing anything, and it sucks. Like, there's a lot of scenes with Bumblebee, but a lot of it is him just either standing, walking, grabbing. Like, he's with our heroes good throughout the portion of the film, but he's not doing anything. And that's kind of lame. I mean, there are 3 or 4 awesome like action scenes and sequences, but otherwise the movie, when it comes to like the Transformers action and shit, there's not much to it. It has probably the least Transformers action of the franchise, which sucks. Like, it sucks because it's a Transformers movie and that's what you come to see. And like, instead, they kind of sacrifice Transformers fighting for building the Transformers cinematic universe. Like, they're trying to make this movie set up future films, and because that's a lot of things suffered. So I'm gonna give this movie a 6 out of 10. I mean, it's not bad, but it didn't ultimately fail. It just failed somewhat. Like, I enjoyed it, but as a film, it doesn't meet everyone's expectations. Like, it's just not the best. So at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and call this part spoilers. Spoilers. If you do not know what happens and you want to watch the movie first, by all means, this is where you get out spoilers, and you just want to hear me talk about like parts of the film, my theories on some parts of the films, and like how it ends and what I believe about the ending, then by all means stick around. But here we go. This is the spoiler talk. And if you're just jumping in and you don't want to get spoiled, just you're just now tuning in and want to hear my non-spoiler review, go back to the beginning. But this is it, ladies and gentlemen. We're just jumping in. So if you just jumped in right now, by all means, go back, start the video over. But this is the spoiler talk here. So here we go, the spoiler talk. So Transformers: The Last Night starts with our knights in shining armor fighting against the I guess Vikings or barbarians, and one of the things I really enjoyed was these Guardian Knights are like this these group of old knights. I think they're either Quintessa's knights or like they're just one of the original knights, and they stole Quintessa's staff. It is her relic that has the ability to create things, or it helps her either like it gives her power pretty much. It has power itself. Like the thing in this movie doesn't really explain what the staff itself can do, which sucks. And the knights know that it's to be used for something evil, so they took it and they went to Earth with it, and later on they bestow it upon Merlin to keep it safe, because there is apparently a prophecy saying that in the future some British lady's gonna have to use it, and he's gonna have to use some Mark Wahlberg motherfucker to help her, save the world, because the prophecy says. And also, what's really cool with these knights that they all combine to form Dragonstorm, which I can't wait until we have a TFTC with Michael and the rest of the people, because there's I believe when I said that all the knights would combine to make Dragonstorm, because Michael thought it was just 2 knights, and some people thought it was just 1 Transformer, but like all the knights combined. I said that all the knights probably combined to make Dragonstorm, so I called it. And that felt good seeing that in the theater. But Dragonstorm was cool, but unfortunately, Dragonstorm wasn't in the movie much. He's in the beginning for good, maybe 10 seconds, and then he does pop in the end of the film for 5 to 10 seconds, and he does not help move the story. Once again, Dragonstorm. It is spoiler time right now. Sorry, someone said in the comments, it's spoiler time. It is spoiler time. Spoiler time now. Don't fucking don't listen. Go back to the beginning of the video if you want to watch it. Not spoiler. Anyway, but yeah, Dragonstorm is he's not in the movie much. He's Optimus in the end, and he's also in the beginning, but then he does not help the final battle. Unlike the Dinobots, where the Dinobots in the 4th movie just sweep through and kill all of Optimus Prime's enemies, get the lockdown, Dragonstorm does nothing. He drops Optimus. He drops him off to fight Infernicus. He kind of trips Infernicus a little bit, but he doesn't. You don't see him kill anyone. He doesn't help, and it's upsetting because you see him in the promotion of this film a lot. He was on one of the first posters. He's a toy. It's just ridiculous. I don't know, man. It's so dumb. Anyway, where was I? So that night scene was happening. It was pretty cool. It goes into pretty much what I call the good part of the Transformers movie. If you cut this movie in half, there's the good half and the bad half. The good half's the beginning, where it shows Earth has is opened up this. It is not just one part of Autobots, one part of Decepticons. The whole planet is infested with Transformers. There's they're all still under attack. There are some places like Cuba, for instance, is more like a safe territory for Transformers, but not just one group here, one group there. They're all over the place, which leads to a lot of Transformers that could pop up in future movies, like Cup, Blaster, Ultra Magnus, Prowl. There's a lot of Transformers that could just come out of nowhere. It's awesome, honestly. So we meet Cade Yeager. These kids, they break into a quarantine area of Chicago. Either it was destroyed recently or it's still destroyed from Dark of the Moon. They just never cleaned it up. They sneak in there and they find this ship that was recently shot down that holds a knight. Who this knight is, I don't know. I don't know if he's one of the original knights or if he's an older knight, but just not one of the originals. They say he's old, but he dies. So it doesn't, can all the knights of Iacon combine to make Dragon Storm without, do they need everyone to combine? That part's just never explained. Anyway, while this is happening, before that scene happens, there are these horns rising into the earth, from the earth. There are 6 in total. They're a mystery, but if you're a fan, you already know what it is. Like, spoiler or not, like, you know what it is. Anyway, so Cade's helping these kids escape TRF, Transformers Reaction Force. They're there to eradicate all Transformers on Earth. And so Cade Yeager helps these kids escape. You meet Isabella, who has Squeaks, a small Transformer that can't transform. He only says Chihuahua. It's fucking dumb. And then you have Canopy, who actually talks to the movie, which it kind of helps him give him a little bit of character. But we already know he's going to die. And that doesn't, that's sad for her. But as an audience, you're like, we know this. Like, it does. We can't feel bad for it. Cade saves her, and she kind of like piggybacks with him in secret. Cade is, he goes, finds the Knight. The Knight dies and gives him a talisman because he's a cool dude. And so pretty much Cade is like, oh man, the Knight died, and I have this talisman. Came here for no reason. And the TRF meets Cade. Bumblebee comes and saves him. Bumblebee does that dumbass fucking rips apart and then comes back together, and that's never explained bullshit. And then Hound comes in with a dumb one-liner, and so TRF backs off, and Cade drives from Chicago all the way to North Dakota or South Dakota. Anyway, it's a different state, and somehow it's a leisurely drive for him apparently. And so that's kind of like lame. Because also Isabella, she sneaks in for how many hours is this drive? I don't know. Because someone tell me how far Chicago is to. I don't know where they are. Some outlands. Still, I'm pretty sure. Is it with Chicago, Illinois? Illinois from Dakota. Is that close or far? I don't know. I can't think right now. Anyway, meet our Autobots. Crosshair's back. Hound's back. Bumblebee's back. Wheelie's back. That's cool, I guess. We got the mini Dinobots. Grimlock's there, and Grimlock and Slug appear, but Scorn and Strafe are missing. Have they died? Are they just not on screen? Like I personally, my favorite one was Scorn, so I'm a little upset because I really wanted to see him back, especially since he's getting a brand new toy that is badass. So that kind of sucks. But like, if anything, if the fact that those two are there but not the other two either means they're dead, they're somewhere else. Shit. And what else? And then so this is kind of like a refuge for Transformers. Cade is kind of making its own like refuge to keep Transformers safe from TRF. It's a big hiding area. Was kind of okay, a little like, this is not part of the movie, but I will say that what's really cool is that the junkyard that Cade is Cade lives in, like this big large junkyard area, is actually 15 minutes away from where I live. So I literally am planning to go there this weekend to take pictures. And when we go on, we'll have a big spoiler talk for TFTC in general. And I'll share some photos, but like it's cool that literally that's shared like just 10 minutes away from my house. That's awesome. Anyway, so while this is happening, TRF is following Decepticons, who are they're under surveillance because they're Decepticons. You just can't keep them around. We see Barricade, who he is voiced by Jess Harnell in the first movie, but in this movie he's using an Ironhide voice. Like, all right, that's cool, I guess, but that's anyway, it got me off. It was off-putting for me. Anyway, he talks to Megatron. Megatron's there. He's not Galvatron, and that's never explained either. But Megatron knows about the staff, and also Megatron does have a red mark on his head, which means that somehow Megatron, well, back when he was Galvatron, has made contact Tesla before this film starts. How? I don't know. Like, he was Galvatron, and he can transform into practically anything with that transformium. He probably transformed into like a rocket, flew into space, met Quintessa, which is like, hey, F, and I'll give you body. And he's like, all right, I'll get that. Anyway, so we meet Megatron, which Megatron is cool though. Even though the voice is back and the body is cool, it has this big knight body, which makes you think, was Megatron a knight with Optimus back in the past? But hey, you'll never explain that. But he has a fusion cannon. His blade sword thing is cool. Like, this is awesome look on Megatron. When I say it's the best Megatron, I don't know. I actually really like the first movie Megatron a lot. So but it is technically the first movie Megatron, but with an armor knight look. So I like it a lot. Anyway, but yeah, so Megatron makes a deal with TRF to work together to get the staff, which was still mysterious in the movie. We don't know what it is, and well, we all do if you've seen the movie. And Megatron needs to recruit a team to help him. So we get to recruit these awesome Decepticons, which I actually love. All these guys. I mean, okay, Mohawk's a little dumb. Like, he acts like a fucking dumbass, and I hate him, but I hate him, but I love him. Like, and I like it. I like just pretty much. I miss Decepticons having character. Not many of them did in the movies, so having like all these guys, like, they act goofy, they're just full out mean, they're assholes, and I miss that. Like, all the past, Transformers Prime, Armada, Robots in Disguise 2001, even G1, they're all like kind of goofy and silly, but they're also evil, and that's what these guys are. I love that. Of all of those new Decepticons, I really love Nitro Zeus. There's this great scene when he's kind of saying goodbye to everyone. God, it's so like I love how these guys are acting like normal people, but they are still like 2-story killing machines. Like, straight up, Nitro Zeus is dancing out of the prison. We got Mohawk's just like snickering and like telling him he's gonna kill everyone, but he's still laughing. Like, I love these guys. Some of them have failed potential. Like, we do see Onslaught, but not much of them. Like, pretty much what you see of Onslaught is in the TV spots and trailers. Like, which is upsetting because like in the TV spot they did show Onslaught's death. So it's not really new to us, and there's nothing new for Onslaught in the movie. It just, he's there, he does talk for one line, he's with Megatron when that whole thing when they all explode, and then the next time you see him is when he dies. It's such a wasted potential for a very fan favorite Decepticon. Which that's the thing. Like, another thing, like Decepticons, like they all show up, all these cool Decepticons, give them all these big names, and like it's like the Suicide Squad kind of thing. But when they actually like come to fight the Autobots, they are fucking. Most of them get destroyed except Nitro Zeus. But I'm going a little bit too far ahead. Anyway, the Decepticons do they get together with TRF and they go raid Cade's secret hideout. They discovered it because Bumblebee had a tracker on him. I should probably mention before this Day Trader. So they introduced this junk transformer. He goes around the world apparently and finds transformer antiques and something like anything that's like cool and special, something Cybertronian. He keeps it and hoards it on his backpack. One of the cool things about him is that he is voiced by what's his name? Steve Buscemi. Is that his name? Buscemi is like big actor. He looks like a rat, but like his voice is really cartoony and it fit perfectly. He looks like Hound, like kind of chubbier. Like he has like a little chubby belly, and he's smaller, but Hound. I think his beard is made out of like race car keychains. Like they're made out of something. I just can't figure out what. So from what it looks like, he goes to the Autobot base once in a while, and he offers stuff to trade for. Being called Day Trader. He does drop off Starscream's head. If you look at it, he does drop. I believe he drops off Jetfire's cane. Not on purpose. He just kind of falls. He has this weird Insecticon that Bumblebee squishes. That was kind of weird. But overall, I like the character. He comes to the movie to introduce the idea of the talisman, because Kay doesn't know what this little talisman is, but he says like, oh man, if that's what it really is, then that's really important. Like if that's what it really is, then we have a lot of bad things coming. Like it's the apocalypse. But that's really, so it kind of helps the characters be like, and helps the characters and the audience know that that talisman is bad news for the future. But overall, like it's it's a kind of cool character. There won't be any toys for him for sure, but like it was interesting to have, man. So fast forward, the Decepticons do find out about the Autobots where they live. They attack. Hound holds him off. He tries to shoot Megatron, but he just gets fucking wrecked. The Autobots kind of set up this abandoned ghost town is set up with explosives, and they destroy. The Decepticons get there. They get distracted by Isabella because Megatron finds Squeaks, and then Mark Wahlberg blows them all up. And they kind of get separated. Grimlock comes in. Like there was a scene where Grimlock was distracting TRF. He kind of burst out of the ground. So apparently, from what I hear, like the Dinobots have holes where they hide into. Like if there's like a helicopter or anything, like because they are large Cybertronians. They do kind of stick out since they're giant fucking dinosaurs. But so I guess they have holes, and they kind of like have them dig throughout the desert. And so what it looks like, it seems Cade Yeager had this planned out. Like if there was ever an attack, they had precautions. And so I guess the Dinobots' precaution was to get in the ground. They would holes that have they're near the major streets, and then whatever was where the enemy was, they would pop up and attack. So the Dinobots do pop up, and they start messing with TRF, and then they go straight to the Decepticons. And kind of like 4, the Dinobots show up and fucking wreck. Like Grimlock tail whips Barricade into a wall. I think he swings his head at Nitro Zeus, and then with that same swing, he grabs Dreadbot with his teeth, and he's you don't see him later, but you gotta guess he's dead. Like if you're in Grimlock's jaws, he's gonna squeeze, you're gonna die. There's no way surviving that. And so and then the Decepticons retreat, and then that's it for the Dinobots. You don't see him later on, because later on the Autobots do assemble, and they all of them leave together to go somewhere, but the Dinobots stay at the junkyard, or are they on the Autobot ship but they just never leave throughout the rest of the movie? We don't know. But the fact is that if their deaths aren't on screen, they are still alive. But it makes you feel I feel like they may have died, but they just didn't shoot the scene, or they cut the scene out, because this movie it feels like it was edited poorly, and there are scenes that they were supposed to be there, but they were cut out. Ooh, excuse me. Ooh. Anyway, so after that, we this whole mess happens. The TRF has these drones, and this scene's very boring because you don't really care for drones. You just want to see robots. So there's a whole scene with drones trying to take out Mark Wahlberg, Isabella, and black guy whose name I can't remember. And so that happens for a while. They meet up with Cogman, who is this butler for this Englishman, and he's trying to recruit Cade to come with him to England. Cade falls out of his elevator. There's a bunch of dumb jokes and dumb one-liners. This whole scene is that from the beginning with the drones to the end, it's not really fun. It's just because this is not going to matter at all. And it pretty much ends with Mark Wahlberg agreeing with Cogman to go with them. Cade, Bumblebee, and Cogman go to England, and they meet up with Sir Anthony Hopkins, who is Edmund Burton. He's he summoned Cade because of the talisman, and while this is happening, you do meet Vivian, Wimpley, I don't know her name. Vivian. She's a professor, and she has connections to mythology. And her dad's car, who turns out to be Hot Rod, kidnaps her and takes her to Cade and Edmund Burton. So Cade meets Vivian. They don't like each other at the beginning. They discover through Edmund Burton that Transformers been on Earth for a long time. He tells Cade that Bumblebee's been involved in World War II, and apparently Bumblebee he wasn't, nice at all, I guess, in the past. Like they said, like, oh, he was called many things, but nice wasn't one of them. So was Bumblebee an asshole? Is that what the whole thing about 1985 Bumblebee movie for next year going to be about? Is that he's going to be mean at first, and he's going to meet some girl, and he's going to be happy, and he's going to like learn how to be a nice guy? Is this going to be Lilo and Stitch again? Whatever. I'm not going to talk about that. A lot, and then this is where the bad part of the movie happens. Like if so, what I said, like you can already tell from my voice of how like exhausting it is to see all this bad stuff happen in the good half. The bad half, like there's a large portion of this film is like, you know, it's Anthony Hopkins telling Vivian that she is a descendant of Merlin, and the whole MacGuffin, the staff of Merlin, is the key to all of this, and so they have to find a way they find the staff, and apparently Vivian's father left her clues, and it is so goddamn boring. Like it's overcomplicated than it should be. Like, so apparently there's a clue to find the staff in her room. So she goes to her room. There's this dumb sex joke with her, Mark Wahlberg, and Vivian's like family. That was pointless. They find like a little clue in Vivian's child book that sends them to a museum. And then there's another clue in the museum, which is a transformer, by the way. It's a big submarine, and it says that the staff is underwater. Which couldn't his father just give Anthony Hopkins like a note saying, "Hey, when she grows up, when the time comes, you know, give my daughter or her granddaughter or whatever this happens, give this to my family, like the directions to like the submarine transformer, and go," and just, you know, helps. Like there's no reason for them to be chasing all around London just to get from there to there, just to go on a submarine. They could just, you know, all this could have just been changed if they just, you know, went to the submarine. Her dad could just been like, here's a note, go to the submarine, it's going to lead you to the staff. Jesus Christ. And also the thing was, like Anthony Hopkins' character with Cogman, they're getting chased by TRF, and the whole reason they're getting chased is to show off the new cars that are in the movie. Like they drive around this car, they get out of the car to go into another car, and they chase again. I mean, they explain it as being decoy cars, but it's really just to show off the cars for the movie for promotion. Oh God. And so once again, our heroes, Kate Yeager and Vivian, they go underwater with the submarine transformer and Bumblebee, and they start just heading towards the alien ship. Cogman shoots out, and just there's a whole scene where he just slaps fish to death and gives them sushi. Like Cogman's a fun character, but like God, nothing. This is a good part of the movie where nothing happens. Like Bumblebee is there. Like there's a lot of scenes where Bumblebee's walking with Cade, he's sitting with Cade, he's standing with Cade. Like like Transformers are involved a lot in this movie, but nothing's going on. Like it's upsetting. God, like back at the Emmett Burton, there was these old man Transformers, like, and they were there for like a second, and then they just they're gone. God, it's so annoying. So it's like, so Bumblebee and the crew, they, some mishaps happen here and there with the submarine, and like they get attacked and stuff, but it's okay. They escape and they go find this big night ship underwater. That's apparently where the staff is, and the Knights of Cybertron, or the Knights of Iacon specifically. And they go there, they find the tomb, and it turns out that Merlin was buried with a stick. Oh man, oh no. So they kind of freak out, and they try to figure out what to do. While this is happening, TRF somehow follows them, and they're in the ship as well. The Knights of Iacon get awakened with Skulltron. He is a specific character in this movie. I don't know if he's a Knight of Iacon. I mean, I guess they're all Knights of Iacon, but I don't think he's a Guardian Knight because, one, he is broken down. He looks practically like a skeleton, given the name Skulltron. They fight. He tries to fight Kate Yeager, but then TRF comes in and they blow him away, and he just falls, and I guess that's it for him. But the rest of the Knights awaken, and they're going to come to kill everyone, but it's okay because Vivian grabs the stick and it transforms to become the staff. Turns out that actually was a staff, but just looks like a kind of like a fake staff God, I can't talk right now. This movie is really pulling me away. Anyway, so the Knights try to kill everyone. Optimus Prime comes in. I mean, I haven't been talking about Octopus a lot because he's not really much in the movie. There is a shot in the movie where like he does land on Cybertron. He does find Quintessa, and then Quintessa, just pretty much just Quintessa tells Optimus Prime that Earth is Unicron, and that's the big thing. So it turns out once again I was right to all the people in the TFTC live streams when they're all like, "Nah, Unicron's not in this movie." Unicron's in this movie. I said that. Go back to TFTCs, you'll see it. And so pretty much Quintessa is saying, Optimus Prime, I need your help to kill Unicron. We must destroy Unicron. He is the Earth. We must destroy Earth. And Megatron gets slapped in the face, and when that happens, he gets kind of mind wiped. Like he starts to think he's not Optimus. He starts to think he's Nemesis Prime, and he starts agreeing with her. And I'll talk about Quintessa for later because I have a whole theory about Quintessa in general. Someone in the comments actually brought a good point. While this is all happening, we do discover that Agent Simmons is he lives in Cuba. He's kind of like helping. He lives with these Transformers, and one of the Transformers in this scene with Simmons is he is a topspin body with a lead foot head, and it just doesn't look right. Like it looks so fucking weird. The character himself is called Volleybot, but we all know that's not his actual name. It's just the name of the just the credit the voice with the character, so people know oh, Volleybot, that's the volleyball Transformer that he wants to play volleyball. So God knows what his name actually is, Lead Spin or Top Foot or just Terrence. I don't know. Well, that was weird. I don't know what to believe about that. That's always just lazy animation to be we gotta make a whole Transformer, but let's just use parts from old ones, whatever. So anyway, back to our story. So Optimus Prime comes out of nowhere. He defeats some of the Knights. He steals the staff from Vivian and Cade. And Cade can already tell that this isn't Optimus. He's not responding at all to him. And this leads into the Bumblebee Optimus Prime fight scene, which is one of the most disappointing battles in the franchise. It was the ending for the past the first two trailers, because it's Bumblebee versus Optimus. It's Iron Man versus Captain America. It's Batman versus Superman. This is it. Our heroes are divided and they're fighting against each other. The fight scene is about 3 minutes long, and we've seen it all in the TV spots and trailers. There is nothing new in this fight scene. Literally, nothing new happens. And it's upsetting because, honestly, it's kind of, I guess it's our fault. If you watch all the TV spots, then you're asking to be spoiled. But, literally, all the TV, if you watch all the TV spots like I have, then you've seen, the whole entire fight. It's so dumb. And then right when the fight's over, so Optimus Prime's about to stab Bumblebee in the face, and then through the magic and will and plot, Bumblebee talks again with the most boring, generic voice I've heard. It sounds at first it sounds like something it's just a voice generator you hear from Microsoft. It's so it's so boring. I don't like the new voice for Bumblebee, but he says, it's me, Bumblebee. I'll die for you. Anything. I love you. And Optimus Prime's whoa, is that Bumblebee? I haven't heard you since Cybertron. Even though I heard you in the first movie, but I guess I'll just forget about that part. And Optimus Prime is, he becomes himself again. The purple eyes go away. The red mark's gone. God, it's so dumb how Optimus Prime was evil for in total probably 5 minutes of the film. Quintessa mind wipes him, and then he goes straight to Earth and he does this battle, and it's over. The movie is promoted to be all about how Optimus Prime is evil and that he turned against his friends and that he destroyed the Earth. But once again, with the Transformers movie, when they promote something, it ends up becoming the smallest part of the film. And Shockwave for Dark of the Moon, it's so annoying because I would like to see more about that, but it doesn't last long. Anyway, he realizes oh man, I'm sorry I did all this to you guys. Megatron comes in, takes the staff from Optimus Prime, flies away. The Knights come and hey, you stabbed us, and you also side with Quintessa, and so they try to kill Optimus Prime, but Kate Yeager's talisman turns into Excalibur, and it stops the Knights, and the Knights just kind of just like, so they just accept that, I guess. Like, it's just, that's kind of weird to me. Like, the Knights were about to kill Optimus, but then when Kate Yeager shows the sword, then the Knights are all like, you know what? This guy was about to destroy everything we worked hard for, but now he's like, okay bot in my eyes. Like, the Knights just kind of just stop, like, oh, this guy likes him, then he has to be good. Like, I mean, Optimus Prime's intentions were good. Like, they're good now, but like, it's kind of like, well, you're just gonna change your guys' minds because some human with a sword stopped you. Okay. So yeah, so Optimus Prime kind of like, he gets his conscience back. The Knights all stop, and they're on their side. So all the Autobots are, they're all good. They just turns out that Day Trader, because like another thing about Day Trader is that like, he goes around the world looking for Cybertronian stuff, but apparently the Autobots are asking him to find their ship, the Knights Temenos, like the big night ship in the 4th movie. And he apparently he finds it because the Autobots back in the junkyard, they find the ship there. So the Autobots from the junkyard meet up with Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, and crew, all in Europe. So all the Autobots are together, and they're all like, hey, we have to stop Quintessa. We have to stop Megatron. Cybertron's coming to Earth. We gotta stop Cybertron from destroying the planet Earth. We have to kill Quintessa. So we all like, all right, great. Everyone's coming together to work together. TRF's working together. Optimus Prime is all about working together. Like, all of the good guys are here now, and so they all go to Cybertron. And they all do that big fight. Here comes the big third act. Well, like, I'll say that the third act's like, with Cybertron and like, one's weird. Cybertron has like dirt on it. That's just weird to me. I guess it's just kind of like, it's a way to pretty much make it to where they can film, like, with the grass and stuff. Like, they don't have to film on just big blue screen like sets. Like, which is kind of a cop out. Anyway, that's not important. So they all drop off on Cybertron. Quintessa and Megatron, they have a small army. Quintessa has Infernicus, who is a combiner. He looks like the devil himself. And then there are some Decepticon protoforms and drone ships. And so this is where I kind of get like, I got a little upset and bored. So when the Autobots and TRF all drop off on the ship and the Ospreys, and they all land on, this big portion of Cybertron, like, apparently this part will turn off, will stop Cybertron from coming if they capture this point. So when they're all there and they all start shooting in this one direction, you're like, it's kind of dumb, because like, they're all shooting in this one direction, but where are they really shooting at? Like, there's you see some bad guys in the distance, but like, they're just shooting their guns in this general direction, and it doesn't really look like they're doing anything. Like, there's nothing really much happens in the third act in the beginning. Like, it's just gunfire and people shooting and screaming. There's some drone ships getting attacked. Dragonstorm, pops in for like 1 minute and breathes fire for a sec. Everyone's asking where Optimus is, and that's a good question. Where is Optimus? Because like, we see him, like, he does still fly. But Optimus Prime still holds the mysterious ability to fly. We don't know how. And he flies off to Cybertron, but then he's kind of absent for a while, and then he comes back with Dragonstorm to fight Infernicus and kills him with that money shot we see in the trailers. But like, otherwise, like, pretty much, like, it just sucks that all the past movies' third acts are always cool. Like the Battle of Chicago, the battle in Hong Kong or Shanghai. Is it Hong Kong or Shanghai? I think it's Hong Kong. Oh, it is Shanghai. God damn it. The 4th movie area. I want to say Shanghai. Someone in the comments help me with that. So Shanghai, Chicago, Mission City, Egypt, all had these amazing like fights. Like, there's parts with gunfire, and there's parts with just punching and hitting and stuff. And there was a bunch of gunfiring in 5, but there wasn't much of like action. Like, when it comes to the punching and hitting, like, I didn't see much Transformers interact with each other when it comes to battling, except the last part with Megatron. They do, like, the Autobots do make it to like this where the staff is, and they all kind of gang up on Megatron, and Megatron is kind of like defending himself, but like it's what sucks is that it's in the background, so like it's hard to follow that. Like it's like you're following Kate Yeager and Vivian trying to get the staff while you're watching the Decepticons and Autobots fight in the background in the corner of the screen, or it's all like in the distance. And the Optimus Prime fights Megatron for like 5 seconds, and there's some dialogue that you want to know more about, but then Optimus Prime kicks Megatron out of the ship. He starts flying out of Cybertron. Megatron he has one arm lost, that's the second time he lost an arm. He should probably stop putting his fusion cannon on that arm because he keeps losing it. But he's like, Megatron's, he kicks away, he flies away, probably going to come back in the future. And so the Quintessa is still trying to, like, this Quintessa's whole thing is that she's trying to siphon Unicron's energy into Cybertron to recreate it. But if you siphon Unicron, then you're siphoning the Earth. They'll destroy the Earth. And so that's why that's the whole reason of getting the staff. And pretty much, our heroes grab the staff. Optimus Prime fights Quintessa. Like he stops her long enough for Bumblebee to shoot her, and then she disappears, and that's the end of that. All Cybertron kind of comes falling down Earth. Our heroes escape. Optimus Prime has Kate and Vivian. Everyone's alive. Like, none of the Autobots die. The Knights are there. Optimus Prime does his final speech saying, "Hey, we did it. We stopped Quintessa from destroying the Earth. I have the staff here. I'm gonna put it with the seed in my treasure chest under my bed or something." And the movie ends. Like, boom, that's it. The movie's credits roll for a little bit, and then it continues on after not even a minute, and it shows this woman walking up to one of the horns of Unicron. She's like, don't touch it. It's hurting if you want, I can tell you how you can really kill him." And it shows that, she's a robot. It's Quintessa. And the movie's over, and it makes it sound like it's dumb, but I actually like the ending of The Last Night. I like how Cybertron is still there. Earth and Cybertron are connected, straight up. You can't, there's so many, what am I trying to say here? Fuck me. Pretty much they're intertwined. Cybertron's not gonna be going anywhere anytime soon. Optimus Prime's final message says all Autobots go to Cybertron, go home. So all the Autobots are gonna be planet Cybertron, or the Autobots now have dinosaurs and a dragon. God damn it! What does Megatron have? A lost arm? Barricade, who once again survives? God damn it! Kill Barricade! Jesus Christ! So yeah, that's it. That's my spoiler talk. There are other things I forgot to mention, Hot Rod's time gun was kind of cool. One thing they totally missed out on, they mentioned Cogman being a headmaster, but Cogman never did it. That's kind of there's even a part where Nitro Zeus gets his head blown off, and in the toy, his head is designed to come off, and Cogman can popped on. Which once again I feel like there was a scene that was supposed to happen with that, but it just never did. So that's kind of dumb. But see, the spoiler talk makes it sound like it's annoying. This movie's annoying, and this movie is annoying sometimes. And it's just, I don't know. I'm just exhausted with these movies now. It's becoming the same thing over and over, and the Bumblebee movie is not going to be like this. It's it's taking a step back. It's not going to be all about action in your face, dumb, stupid humor. It's just a plain story with one or two Transformers, and it's about Bumblebee, and it's just about story and not some excessive plot. But yeah, I'm sorry I haven't been talking to the comments. So sorry if I haven't been seeing your guys' reactions at all. So I'll when it comes, I'm looking at, I saw Quintessa in the comments here, and so what do you guys think about Quintessa? Because they don't really explain who she is. We don't know if she's okay. Sorry, I'm mumbling because I'm confused about what she is. So what I think Quintessa is, because Quintessa said that she is the prime of life, and also like, as you can tell, she's nothing really organic about her. She's mostly metal as well. You know that she has the ability to transform. She has she turns into a human, and you know that she can teleport, and that she can levitate. So my theory is that Quintessa isn't like, I don't think she's a Quintesson. I honestly don't think the Quintessons were ever a thing to begin with. I think Quintessa is one of the original 13. Because if you know the aligned continuity, there's Quintus Prime. He is part of the original 13, and he in that lore of like Transformers Prime, Quintus Prime has a artifact that can create life, similar to what Quintessa can do, apparently. So I think that Quintessa is one of the original 13, which, if you guys remember, the original 13's main goal is to destroy Unicron. So technically, she's just doing what she was made to do from Primus, is just destroy Unicron. Even if it, but I guess she's, and her mind, who's in the line of fire. Also, Nachos. If I just saw some guy here, Nachos. Like we are in the spoiler talk. So go back to the beginning if you want to see non-spoilers. It's sorry if you heard anything. If you haven't seen it, get your ass to the theater. Then watch the movie first. Sorry about that. But anyway, so Quintessa is. I don't think she is like. I don't think the creators are the Quintessons. I think the creators are actually the 13. Because technically in the aligned continuity lore, that's technically true. The 13 do give sort of with the help of Primus, they do give birth to the Transformers. So I think completely wrong. She is like a Quintesson, and there's more Quintessons-esque things out there, but it just, a lot of things just fit too well with the 13 stuff. Like, she's, oh god, I'm really, no, okay, cool. So, she's her design is very similar to Quintus Prime. She can teleport like the Fallen. Like compared to the Fallen, she has these similar abilities. They can both levitate. They both can teleport, and they both have They both have stronger abilities, and for Quintessa, she's just smaller, So so I think also and I think the reason they made it that way is because people nowadays, if they if they know about Transformers lore, and if they get that app and stuff, and they look at the lore, like right now the accepted lore is that there was Primus Unicron, and then Primus Week 13, they defeat Unicron, he goes away, and then they make the Transformers. And I think they're trying to stick with that lore, but also adding in stuff like the Knights and the previous, whatever happened in the previous movies. But that's my opinion. I think Quintessa is just this movie versions of Quintus Prime, and I think the 13 are the creators. And I guess, and then, but if you think about it, so if you think about the first movie, the fourth movie, why was there a pink hand that touched the goo and destroyed the dinosaurs? I'm gonna go ahead and pull something out of my ass and say that maybe once again Quintessa is the prime of life. Maybe she created beings that help her fly these ships and destroy the planet, because the primes are busy. They're busy destroying suns and siphoning energon. So she created some smaller race that fly these ships, terraform planets with metal, suck it up, and to help build their planet that they're about to build. So I'm guessing the 13 are building this, are helping build Cybertron, or helping make Cybertron a place for a whole civilization. They're building metals to help produce a civilization. But this is honestly just one big theory of mine. A lot of it I just kind of realized, I just thought of last night. But I'm trying to make sense of this movie with the lore, and unfortunately it's not easy. you know, it's upsetting, honestly. I'm gonna go through the comments here, see if anyone my first comment here is a Quintessa's a whore. All right, good start. I'll look in the back here, see if there's anything that I missed that people are mentioning. I'm gonna go way back here. So someone mentioning Transformers 7, how it's set on Earth, the Cybertron reformatted. That's the thing. Do you think Transformers, like, because that's, Transformers 7 is not confirmed. And like, because some people are thinking Transformers 7 is a Cybertron prequel. They didn't confirm that at all. Because I don't know if I want 7 to be the continuation of 5, only because like I think they need to wait and write a good story. Like, it just needs patience and a good director and good writers. Because like this Transformers 5 had a better script. It just was this one for sure was just poorly directed because Michael Bay, he's been doing this for so long, and it's just I guess he just can't change the way he makes movies because it's just another Transformers movie. Okay, sorry. Back to the comments. So I see a lot about Sam. So we don't I don't know if they really confirmed in the movies that Sam died. Because Sir Anthony Hopkins said that his character said that he's lost the Wiccans, which is not a family. It's more like an order of Transformer keepers. And it just so happens to sound close to Witwicky, which is his family name. I mean, so what it looks like is possible that Archibald Witwicky may have been a Witwiccan, and maybe he went to the Arctic Circle to find Megatron in the first place. Maybe like there's more to him than meets the eye. God, I said that again. That's the second time I used that. That's so dumb. I don't think Sam's dead. Like, I want him to be dead, because then we can just shut up about him. But like, I don't know. Like, just because and the only reason why his picture's there, with all the Transformers memorabilia, is because he did play an important part of the Transformers lore. Like, apparently George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Harriet Tubman, and other famous people. Let's see here. Yeah, someone's saying that the continuity is all over the place. It's hard. Like, I really shouldn't try to make sense of it, but that's my job. My job is to try to connect, to make all of this movie make sense. Try to make a lore live stream where we go from the beginning all the way to the end of the last night and try to connect, like, make everything make sense. Now, I know it's impossible, but you have no idea how powerful I am of pulling things out of my ass and making things work. So we'll try to make that happen. So yeah, someone saying the movie kind of sucks. Someone, Brian was saying how hopefully TRF evolves to become the EDC in the future films, the Earth Defense Command. That'd be nice. A lot of the Decepticons Megatron hired sucked. True. Someone's talking about like Leadspin, the Volleybot Transformer. Someone's saying how the Decepticons, the introduction to them sucked. They never really said anything where where it's from. Prime Megatron fight sucked. The humans are way racist. Decons. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, like a lot. This movie has a lot of things wrong, and like could have been done better. Like, I feel like under the approach of a different director, this movie could have been way better than it is. But it's a Michael Bay. Like, honestly, like, it's just a Michael Bay film that you just can't beat. Yeah, Quintessa was a letdown. How about Unicron? I'm excited about Unicron, honestly. Like, I'm excited to see. Like, I wonder if they're gonna pull stuff out of Prime, like if he's able to manifest himself in the dirt, and like create multiple versions of himself. Because God knows the Transformer movies love to make an army of something for the Autobots to fight. But there's that. What else? I'll go through the comments here. Yeah, so people are saying like Quintessa kind of sucked. Like, because like it just sucks. Like, because we've been waiting 3 years to learn who the creators are, and it's just this small lady robot that doesn't really, and they don't explain her. Like, isn't that the whole weight of the movie? The whole reason Optimus Prime flew into space was to find out the answer, but we didn't get the answer. All right, it's dumb. Someone asked if the entire movie doesn't take place in Space Cybertron, he'll be pissed. Well, you're in bad luck because that's how it is. Us as real Transformers fans, we deserve better. I mean, we do. After 5 movies, we're still getting bad movies, but I think the future of the Transformers franchise looks brighter. Hopefully. I mean, I can't. I'm not a fortune teller. They can all just be bad. It's just a cursed franchise. Who knows? I don't know. Let's see. Yeah. So people saying about the Bumblebee movie, like the Bumblebee movie is right now. It's the golden ticket to, like, if people like the Bumblebee movie, then we have a chance. Because I'm so glad like we're not going into another just explosion fest. Like, I feel like this must just be more like calmer and relaxing. And thank God it comes out in the year. I wasn't gonna wait 2 to 3 years for a small budget Transformer film. Yeah, sorry, I had a drink here. Yeah, people liked how Cybertron wasn't destroyed. That's good. Because that's the thing. Like, I love how this movie sets up for a lot of things that happen. So I'm glad about that. Oh man, I missed a lot of comments here. Okay. So there said Quintessa was a Quintessa or not? Maybe Solus Prime. See, I don't think like if the whole thing about if Quintessa is Solus Prime, I don't think so. I don't like, honestly, only because like it's just because like if people are just pointing that out because they're both female, I don't think that's the case. I just think they just changed this character for whatever reason. Like, I don't really know why. Yeah, see, one of my biggest complaints, same thing with here 69 Nachos, is that there wasn't many one-on-one Transformer fights. There was just a bunch of people shooting in one direction. Like, my favorite scene in this entire movie is the Decepticon Autobot struggle. I can't really say fight or battle because they don't really fight. I mean, yeah, no, they don't really fight. Like, the Decepticons just get their ass kicked and then they leave. But that is unfortunately my favorite part of the movie because on characters, even though they're all kind of like goofy and dumb, but I like that they even had character. And all the Autobots are about to fight the Decepticons, and like, I don't know, like that felt like a Transformers moment to me, while the rest of the film felt more boring and like, it's upsetting that this movie is like, God, it sucks because this movie's good, but it's not rewatchable. Like, watching it a second time was harder than the first time, and I always watch these movies like 4 or 5 times in theaters before I stop. But this, like, I watched it a second time and I just can't. Like, and all the good scenes you can just go ahead and find on YouTube. They're all on YouTube now. I mean, it's bad quality, but they're there. Gee, so like, I have no reason to go back anymore. See, yeah, he also mentioned how Bumblebee and Barricade don't even fight. That is dumb. And Barricade's face is also like offsetting. Like, it kind of sucks that he never put on his battle mask, even though they promoted that in the motion poster and the toys and everything. Speaking of which, like, all the toys we have now, like, let's say you have a toy of Berserker. What does Berserker do? He said a line about blood sucking, and then like he literally could not do anything because he was strapped to like some kind of like fucking, God, I can't say the word right now. He was strapped away, he couldn't move, and his mouth is even like closed shut. So that's great. I'm glad everyone got that toy. What did Barricade do? Nothing. He talked to Megatron for a second, and then he was just there in the background. Once again, great. I mean, that's cool and all. Right now, the only character like for the toys now, the only like toy of a character that did anything was Optimus Prime, and I guess if you have Wave 2, then Hound and Megatron, yeah. Like, just pretty much just like they make all these cool toys, but they're toys of characters that don't do anything. God, I just hate it. Bumblebee just literally just does nothing. He's what? God, I hate that. It really bugs me. All right, I'm going off topic. Back to the comments. Yeah, so I was saying if they went with the comics, the Riddler says if they really went with the comics, real characters in the cartoon, this franchise would be really huge. I agree. Yeah, especially the comics. Comics have so much character development. It's terrifying. Guga Volt user Zombie Hunter. That's a mouthful. Can I say something that happened in the last night? Yeah, we're doing spoiler talk, so that's good. But then he probably already said it. I'm just reading message for message. Maybe it was. So he just talked about he thinks Sam didn't die. He thinks he's just staying away from all the Transformers stuff, which I mean, it's probably true. I don't know. Part of me kind of wish he died. That's just my just so we don't any case that he comes back or his parents come back. Like we could have just ended and said, "Oh, he's gone. He's dead." Like this, like TRF. I don't know either TRF. No, not TRF. Like some Decepticon came down. Like, hey, you're that human that helps destroy the Decepticons. Kills him. If only. God, if only. So yeah, see, Nigel was saying how he thinks Hound should have died, which brings up a good point that once again, no one died. Like, God damn it! It's in a world like this where it's more realistic. Like you can't, not like Megatron shot Hound point blank with the fusion cannon, and he gets up like apparently he survived like it was nothing. God, it's so dumb. It's like, and then so like these Autobots take a while to get they take a while to get killed, but then like you get like Onslaught who gets one like cut in the leg, and then his head gets chopped off. Like, God damn it. The Decepticons don't get a whole fight in, and these Autobots like it takes like a fucking army to take out just one of them. So dumb. I guess that's really it with my view here. Overall, it's a good movie, but it's the most boring of the franchise, unfortunately. Like the movie makes me excited for future movies. And I think that's not what a movie should be doing. A movie should be making me excited for the movie I'm watching, not for the future movies. And a lot of movies are doing that now, especially the Avengers. But like it's just like I just wanted like the trailer showed so much action, and we I guess we got that action, but like it was either too quick or like it was all in the end or beginning. Like God, the whole like I didn't care about Kate Yeager's and Vivian's love, which one thing about that is that love scene was so forced. Like she hated the Kate Yeager's character. Mark Wahlberg's character until she saw his pecs, and then she was okay with it. And then she was falling in love with him. That's dumb. God, it's so fucking dumb. God, I think this is the longest video I've made so far. Probably because I'm trying to explain every scene by scene here and trying saying these scenes out loud does not help this movie for me at all. I'm still gonna buy their toys though. I was planning to buy the I was planning to see the movie one last time because the IMAX was great because it's IMAX and it was filmed in IMAX, and you can tell that too because if you watch the movie, you can tell when the screen gets bigger, it was IMAX camera, and when the screen gets smaller, it was regular camera, and they did that a lot. Like, that was annoying. I was gonna watch it one last time in IMAX, and I'm still not sure if I'm gonna do that because like it was actually really hard to watch it again the second time. It had been the fact that I literally watched it like I watched the premiere Tuesday night, and then I watched it again Wednesday. So maybe if I need to take some time to wait and try to not watch the scenes again on YouTube because they're just easily accessible now. But I'm gonna take this time to figure out the lore because if Quintessa is now if possibly one of the 13 primes, then the lore has changed a lot. Like, did the Fallen like let's say, like, what if the Fallen wanted to blow up the sun to help, because what if he knows too that Unicron was in the Earth and was going like, hey, we must destroy this planet because it's Unicron and we are designed to kill Unicron. But the other 6 primes were all like, no, we can't do that because we're all about Primus, we're all about life, and this planet has life. We can't do that. We'll find another way to kill Unicron. But Megatron's like, you fuck faces, I'm gonna try to destroy it anyway. But I don't know. Like, I mean, it also makes sense. The reason why Quintessa isn't apparently in some kind of interview with Hasbro, apparently there might be 13 original Transformers in this universe, but only seven of them are named Prime by name. So that helps Quintessa being like, oh, she was one of the original ones, but just not called a Prime, even though she is a Prime. Oh, geez, I'm so sorry, Volt user Zombie Hunter. He spent like $350 on tickets for his friends and family. I'm sorry you spent it on like what is probably the most boring Transformers movie. But hey, it's the final chapter, so I guess you had to go all out. But honestly, it's more like it's the final chapter, but it's the final chapter of the first book, because the next book's coming out. Like, this is, I feel like you can call Transformers Last Night the Avengers, and so this is the end of Phase 1, and you can call Bumblebee prequel like the beginning of Phase 2, because this is going to lead up for a big, large battle with Unicron. And that's that's probably a big deal, because I would expect this movie to have like Optimus Prime, Megatron, and Bumblebee, like they're all dying, but but now we know that this is just a whole different can of worms. All right, this is it. That's my review. Transformers Last Night is good, but boring and upsetting sometimes. What do you guys think? Did you guys like it? Go ahead and say in the comments. I mean, by the time this video is over, you're just going to leave the video, so what's the point? Thank you all for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't seen Last Night, just go ahead and watch. Like, I'm not saying it's bad, you shouldn't watch it. I'm just saying, like, if you enjoy the movies, you're going to enjoy this one. It's just not the biggest. Let's hope for new Autobots in the future movies. Let's hope for a lot of good things to happen in the future movies. This movie was better. That's the end of that. Thank you for watching. You guys are beautiful. I love you. I can't find the stop broadcast button. Oh, there it is. All right. Subscribe and shit. I don't care. Bye.